Hi everyone, you have already learned about market equilibrium. Now we are going to move on to how the equilibrium point is determined. In this section, we will mainly focus on the behavior of supply in the market, which represent all sellers, and demand in the market, which represent all buyers. Now you can see point E on the graph where the supply and demand curve intersect. This is the point at which buyers and sellers agree on both the price and the quantity. At this price, the quantity that consumers are willing to purchase is exactly equal to quantity that producers are willing to supply. We identify this point as the equilibrium point. We, we give specific names to the price and the quantity at this point. The price is called equilibrium price, denoted as P sub E, and the quantity is called the equilibrium quantity, denoted as Q sub E. As you as you can see on the graph, the equilibrium point is not determined suddenly. Instead, it is the result of an invisible process driven by market forces. Now, we are going to discuss the market process and examine how market equilibrium is determined. Let us assume that the market is not equilibrium. As you learned earlier, we used two situations to explain this process. The first is a market shortage, which occurs when the price is low and quantity demanded exceed quantity supplied. As shown on the graph, second situation is a market surplus, which occurs when the price is high and quantity supplied exceed quantity demanded. First, we examine the situation of the market shortage. Under the market conditions, supplies are not satisfied with the current low price, so they are willing to supply only a small quantity. At the same time, demanders are willing to purchase a large quantity because the price is low. In generally, suppliers prefer higher prices while demanders prefer lower prices. In this situation, there is an upward pressure on the price from suppliers. As the price rises, some demanders exit the market because they are no longer willing to purchase at the higher price. The remaining demanders continue to purchase until the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity are reached, as shown on the graph. That is how equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity are determined under a market shortage situation. Now, let us move on to the market surplus situation. Under this situation, the market price is higher than the price acceptable to demanders. As shown in the graphs, quantity demand is 225 units, while quantity supply is 750 units. At this higher price, producers are willing to supply more, while consumers reduce the quantity they demand. As a result, excess supply occurs in the market. Due to this surplus, sellers experience downward pressure on the price as they attempt to sell their unsold goods. As the price falls, quantity demanded increase and quantity supplied decreases. This process continues until the price reaches the equilibrium level, where quantity demand equal quantity supplied. However, during the adjustment process, some products remaining unsold because quantity supplied exceed the quantity demanded. As mentioned earlier, in the market shortage situation, some consumers exit the market due to higher prices. In contrast, under the market surplus situation, some goods are left over because demand is insufficient at the higher price level. This is not a negotiation. Suppliers and demanders do not get into a room and discuss prices with one another. Instead, this adjustment occurs through everyday actions taken by many consumers and producers independently. Without directly communicating with each other, a large number of buyers and sellers respond to price signal in the market. Through this individual and often routine decisions such as choosing to buy more, buy less, produce more or produce less, the market moves towards equilibrium. This process operates as an invisible mechanism where price adjusts automatically based on demand and the supply forces rather than through direct coordination.